Welcome back to Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt. She's RJ, and he's Lonnie. How's everyone doing tonight? RJ, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I work with a bunch of people out of Tennessee, and the Red Sox drafted a Vols pitcher in the baseball draft that I know nothing about, but a bunch of my friends were very excited who follow Tennessee baseball. So, in 1 to 7 years, I'm going to have a Tennessee Vols pitcher potentially pitching for the Red Sox.
Let me guess. This is high first round pick,
Yes,
highest pick since David Price.
I believe so.
Not bad. Lefty?
Potentially.
Okay, fair enough.
It's before the All-Star break. I haven't really tuned into baseball yet.
Yeah, putting the draft at the All-Star break is weird. I missed the 67 round nonsense. Anyway, Lonnie, how are you today, sir?
Feeling good, looking great. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. I have a feeling our news roundup is going to be something interesting this week.
Don't ruin it for anyone. Don't even ruin it for me. I don't want to talk about it till we talk about it.
As you wish, sir. We're going to jump in as we usually do with viewer questions. Craig is on assignment this week, and Tariq still remains on assignment. What it is. But viewer questions. Our first question comes from a nice friend of the channel, AP, who says, my daughter's school uses an app thing to pay for school lunch. It doesn't take credit cards, only debit cards. I was thinking of using my Amex debit cards for half an MR point per dollar. Any other ideas on debit cards for non-categorized spend to get an absolutely tiny amount of points or cash back from AP? I'm going to jump in real quick. The only other alternative I can think of would be a Discover debit card. I think that can get you a general 1% back on everything. The Amex play is a great play if you're looking to continually, even if it's 6, 10, whatever points per month, depending on how much you have to reload for your daughter's lunch, you know the value that MR points can give you. So that half an MR point per dollar is probably more valuable to you than trying to find a 2% debit card from a fintech that might blow up tomorrow. Remember, with debit cards are capped to financial institutions with less than $10 billion in assets. So Wells, Citi, US Bank, Chase, most others are not going to get you what you're looking for. The MR play is probably your best bet. RJ, are you aware of any other debit cards that could work better for AP?
You can go out and get a Delta, you can get a PayPal or whatever, but if you have the Amex card and you use that account, it's going to be so much less stress for you to be like, I'm going to hook up an account that has money in it, that I'm constantly putting money in it, that I don't have to babysit. I think sometimes we all try to maximize, I'm gonna get a card for this and a card for this and a card for this. Sometimes it's just hook up a card that you already use, let it roll, especially for something like lunch. You're not making 1 million points a year off of your kid's lunch, presumably. So it's just a drip of points, but let the points drip in, man. Have your account hooked up and forget about it.
There's something to be said, like philosophically, of a drip of water over time accumulating such a mass that you'll flood out something. Lonnie, any other thoughts here? I do want to come back to something, but Lonnie, do you have anything here?
No, I think RJ hit it on the head. First off, the Amex debit card is a great option. It pays something. It's the first one that popped into my head. And no, it's not a lot. It's not even a full point, but 50% of something's more than 100% of nothing in my book. So I'd say roll with it. But to RJ's other point, there are other debit cards. Like you can go get those vanilla cards, the ones from CVS, the ones from the
Yeah.
grocery store that count as debit cards. But then, as she had mentioned, you got to babysit it. You got to keep adding money to it. You got to go back to the grocery store, maybe buy another one because you're trying to get like the 4X from the grocery store every time that you buy it. Screw all that. Take the simple route, take the point 0.5, call it a day. It's something. And that's the way I would do it personally if I were in that position.
Yeah, the thing I was going to go back to was just what Lonnie said. You could do the 4x grocery or 3x grocery, depending on what card you're going to use at the grocery store. You could do a Chase card at a drugstore. You could do the chasing cash and off the supply store if you want to buy one of those debit cards. I don't know how frequently you're refilling the school account. Do you want to try to get a massive points with a vanilla debit card, prepaid debit card from an office supply store? You could go that route, or do you just want to set it and forget it and just have an easy drip of MR points that you don't have to think about?
Also, sometimes those prepaid cards, if the address isn't connected and if
Yeah.
it's a school account, the address might be a problem. I know people who have run into address issues for those cards. If you just take them to a store and use them at your local grocery store, usually they're fine. But for something like this where you have to input, it actually might not work. And you don't want to put 50 bucks on a gift card that you suddenly have no use for, you throw in a drawer and then completely forget. So then you're just paying for a lunch twice. So
Yeah.
in this case, just say the 100 points that you might get over the gift card is not worth the hassle of dealing with the gift card.
Yeah. Yeah. Easiest thing is just going to be the set and forget with the debit card. Tell them to look into credit cards. If you really need to get the extra points, tell them to look at credit cards. Half an hour per dollar, not the worst thing. For all we know, maybe there'll be a travel focused credit card that switches to a lifestyle focused credit card that also launches a debit card with its new partner. Who knows? Foreshadowing, folks. That's what that's called. Anyway, we'll go on to our next question. Also, friend of the channel, Keith asks, how well have you stuck to your 2025 roadmap? And I'll start off again. You can't stick to something you didn't have. I didn't have a roadmap for 2025. I'll be 100% honest. I have added a business card that was for balance transfers. That's fine. And I recently added the Chase Freedom Flex. Apparently, I added the Chase Freedom Flex, and Chase said, "Oh my God, he grabbed it. We have to shut this card off." It stopped being available immediately after I got it. So I broke the Freedom Flex. You're welcome. And yeah, I haven't stuck to a roadmap because I went into the year without a roadmap. I just wanted to hunker down. I unexpectedly got the Blue Business Plus at the end of last year. That was I wasn't expecting to get this card. So that kind of took up a good portion of the year. Then I did the employee card for it. So that took up another portion for the year. And then I didn't have anything. So I have been, like our co-host Tariq, just chilling for a little bit, and I hit one welcome offer, and I'm just not sure what I'm doing with the rest of the year. I was waiting for the JetBlue premiere. We know what happened there, and I got nothing else to go for right now. And I'm not going to go aimlessly try to shotgun some welcome offers if I don't have a need for the card afterwards. So that's just me. Lonnie, how is your 2025 roadmap going?
It's on track. Now,
Ooh,
I'll say I stuck with it. Not a lot changed in my 2025 roadmap. And also, if you're a member of my channel, I talked about a little bit of it today and how I did a re-audit halfway through the year just recently. Now, the thing is how I say mine hasn't really changed and I've stuck to it. My roadmap was never actually based around the cards themselves as much as one, picking my partners and optimizing my partners for whatever travel goal I want to receive. And your travel goal could be different. Mine is specific trips because I plan so far out in advance, but yours could be for status, yours could be for points, whatever your travel goal happens to be. And so by having my trips planned so far out in advance, by picking my partners, I've remained optimized there. And then secondary is like where I bring the cards in, how I optimize the cards to achieve said first goal, if that makes sense. So it's like I got this group of cards. I've already picked my partners. I know where I want to go, when I want to go, and how I want to get there. And then I build a strategy and a card system around that to help make sure that all happens. And in my case, it's going great because I haven't had any hiccups. But more importantly, like I had just mentioned, I've optimized. One of the things that I had mentioned was my family and I, we got the United Black card. I literally applied for the purple card today with its sweet welcome offer for a whole nother reason, for a whole nother story that, we'll put behind members only. I've shared it with my co-host, but we got it now. This is what it's there for, to explain this type of stuff.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm not trying to paywall you, but that's what it's there for. We got to save something for members only, and I'll save that story for you guys. Anyway, yeah, I'm on track and I'm feeling good. And I'm still feeling good even for the rest of 2025. And as I've mentioned a million times before, I'm looking into 2026, starting to lock that stuff in as well. So I'm on track.
Lonnie, how quickly would you mainline a Marriott Bonvoy PX app or a Hilton PX app?
Oh, is it available? Where's my phone? Can I download it now? Are you hitting at something?
No, I wish. I wish.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could put a wrench in my system, I won't even say put a wrench in there, might throw a check engine light on, if you will, is Chase CSR, how I feel about it come October.
Yep.
And that goes with what Amex does in response. It's not one or the other. It's what, in conjunction, these two cards, the friction, the positive or negative electrons, are they coming closer together? Are they pushing each other apart? And how I feel in the middle of it, that could actually change my strategy. So I'd actually come revisit this conversation Q4, maybe post October, when we know exactly what's happening on both cards. Because yes, I have a CSR, but I don't have the CSR benefits until October, except for points boost.
Chase is stupidly showing a soft 20 on the table with the CSR, and Amex gets to deal next.
They have all the time to just iron out these wrinkles, and I hope they come strong. I'm not going to lie. I would really. So I like both cards in their current form, that is. I can't say what the future form is, the experience with the future form on the CSR, because I don't have those features or benefits yet. And we don't know what's happening with Amex. But I would love for them both to come so strong where a $800 annual fee is okay. Whereas, you know what? It's high, but it's manageable. I think Chase did a really good job. I believe if I forgot who it was either AP or Keith. No, sorry, it was Keith. Keith commented on one of my previous member only videos that even with everything, and not to put you out there, Keith, love you. How you doing? Even with everything, it just does not make sense for him. And he does not want to go through the hoops and ladders of the new changes, which I 100% respect. Yep. I'm just saying, I don't have those hoops and ladders yet. I'm going to ride it out to October 20, whatever. It starts on the 26th. I'm going to ride out to October 25th, guaranteed this year. And then my annual fee doesn't hit till January. So I'm going to give it the rest of 2025. I just don't know what that's going to look like. But more importantly, at times, my CSR and my Platinum card can complement each other. They don't always work against each other in their current forms. I want to see what Amex does and say, gives me a couple of different options: full Chase, full Amex, keep both, or neither, none of the above.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what happens as, again, Chase is showing a soft 20 on the table and Amex has all the time in the world.
One of the stupidest business decisions I've ever seen in my entire life.
Speaking of stupid business decisions, we'll get to that.
I don't want to talk about it till we talk about it.
I know. I'm building tension. That's what I'm doing. Just teasing the listeners. RJ, how's your roadmap going for 2025?
I got a shopper's cash today.
What? You cashback? What the hell is going on here?
So my grandmother, who I love, is coming up for a couple of months, and I will be doing about 50% of the caretaking, which means that like sometimes I'm just gonna need stuff from Walmart. delivered, and delivery where I live in the middle of nowhere is fraught. But Walmart will deliver, and they will deliver within 90 minutes if I pay the $10 for them to. And there is going to be times I'm going to need that. Dinner stuff or whatever she needs or whatever I need. So I wanted a way to have that. It also delineates things for Walmart, Amazon, and then warehouse clubs. So it makes some amount of sense. I can throw Apple there in another quarter. I could throw other things there. I'm giving it's zero annual fee for the first year. So I'm giving it a year. If I hate it, if I never use it, then I'll just close it next year. Like, it's not the end of the world. As we talk on this program, when life changes, you have to adapt. If I hate it, I'll just use my Hilton business for everything. It is not a radical departure. It is me looking at what I am about to have happen in my life and adjusting my strategy based on that. It's also 6% back on those things, which I will then use to offset the cost of those get it here as soon as possible moments versus, just paying the $10. So that is a difference. I got the IHG card, which I didn't expect to get to next year, but that was the next card I plan to apply for. I just finished the sub on that. So that was great. And I really enjoy that card. Like outside of the sub, I really like that card. It's a great card. So my roadmap is, as Matt will understand, driving in New York during a construction season, you're going to get where you plan to go. You're just going to go a different way to get there. I am still on track for all of my major targets. I'm just doing construction season on the way there.
Nothing compared to Pennsylvania construction season.
I don't live in Pennsylvania, so I don't care.
I've driven through Pennsylvania enough that I want to stab every DOT official in Pennsylvania.
Stack Your Points does not condone stabbing DOT officials in the state of Pennsylvania or any other state.
Commonwealth. But
Or
yeah,
stabbing human beings, period.
Yes.
that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, so moving over to our next question. We've got double animal fries, and feel free to cut that. I'm sorry. Now that we've seen Chase partially adopt their own version, do you see systems like Pop-Up Jail and Family Language spreading to other issuers beyond American Express and Chase? RJ, I'll throw to you on this one first.
Yeah, because it works. Like we've already seen Wells Fargo basically do a 06112 for applications. Ideas like Pop-Up Jail are great because if they have the data and 50% of people will take X card without a sub, like they just want the card and they'll take it without a sub. That's really good data that they want to have versus just, oh, we don't want you, so we're not going to offer you the card. That doesn't actually tell them how much people want the card, right? Because people apply for anything. There are people who just they'll do 7 applications in a day just to see what's out there for them. And I think for Pop-Up Jail, like that's great data for the banks. More data than just what people are applying for the first time. So I think that's helpful. Family language, I don't know. I think family language is very specific to families to put a fine point on it, right? Like green, gold, platinum is a family within an Amex. The Delta cards, the Hilton cards will eventually go to family language. So I think it's going to matter. Wells Fargo really doesn't have families other than the autographs, and there's only 2 of them. So it's
Yep.
like putting family language on that is a little bit odd. I mean, you can have the one autograph roll, like we just had the one sapphire roll, but that's dumb. So they don't super complement each other. Like you just need one anyway. But I don't know if family language will spread because most banks don't have families the way that Amex has families. But the pop-up jail, I think pop-up jail in 5 years is just going to be the norm, which honestly, if you want the card and don't care about the sign-up bonus, and that is a choice you got to look yourself in the mirror for, I'm not here to tell you to get it or not. More power to you. It gives you another option. And options are good, even if we don't agree with people's choice in that option.
Yeah. Lonnie, pop-up jail here to stay. Who could go, who could benefit, and family language?
Only the bank issuing bankers, the real one, that's going to benefit. The real benefit, that is. Now, for everyone else that would have been 100% cut off, no, they also can benefit because, not to repeat RJ again for a second time, but before 524 said, full stop zero, you get absolutely nothing. You cannot go forward. You do not pass go. You do not get $200. Pop-up jail says, at least you go past go. You still don't get $200, but you get to go. You can still get the card. You can still earn points on that card. And I mentioned this in, I don't remember what episode, maybe 2-3 episodes back now. Sometimes pop-up jail could be the better financial deal for you by saying, buying points aside, which is the point that I made in that particular episode, but you don't have a spend requirement. So you could earn points flat out, ready to go, no spend requirement. And think of if it's a $0 annual fee card with a high earn. I'm going to think of Surpass right now because they just changed it. So you get $0 your first year on that annual fee, and then it kicks over to it. But the bonus categories, those earning categories, I should say, the fact that you could spend $15K and get a free night certificate, that's a lot of value, even without the welcome offer. And that comes from pop-up jail, where they say, here you shall come, but you can't go no further, is one thing. But yeah, you can go. You just got to take the rope bridge. You can't take the conveyor belt escalator. You got to take the hard way up. That type of thing. Oh yeah, that's such a great benefit. Now, to answer the actual question, is this going to be the norm? Absolutely. Because once again, not to repeat RJ, you got to quit letting her go first, man. It works. Amex has proved it worked for a very long time. There's data out there, and even though like Chase and Citi and Capital One can't see all of Amex's data, they can see your credit report every time you hit apply and be like, this person clearly is above 524. So obviously they didn't get any Chase cards during this time. Like, it's real simple math. If you look at your credit report, you can figure that out really quickly.
Yep.
But then there's no way this person got all these Amex cards. So they are clearly taking pop-up jail and moving forward with it. I'm one of them. I just took a pop-up jail offer. I still wanted the cards working out great for me. I'm ahead without the welcome offer. So I think it's going to be the norm. And it's good to see Chase start to do this as well, because money's getting tight out there. The economy's getting tight. Inflation is going up. Stuff is starting to cost more, which means I don't want to talk negatively about the people that are in financial positions that put themselves in debt by not managing their financial services around credit cards efficiently. But this is how the banks make money, from those people. So all of us in here, we get to do what we do because all those other folks that don't pay attention to us and let balances roll over and pay interest and all that, they are funding our points and miles and our vacations, which is a profit for the banks.
Yep.
They're in it for the money. And if you don't got the money, they're still in it, because the only thing worth more than $1 is you owe me $1, because I can charge whatever I want. I can sell that dollar to Matt for 75 cents, and now he can charge you $1.50 because you're in debt. So they want more cards out there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The business model is to get more cards out there. And now, as we see this ecosystem war, especially the Chase and Amex, going to bring them up again, this ecosystem war happening, you want the most of your cards out there. The only way that you'll be able to do it is through pop-up jail.
Yep.
I think
No, I
it would
can't disagree.
benefit people to realize that every single bank on earth is run by Eugene Krabs. If you just put that in your head, I think it will make it make more sense that Eugene Krabs is in fact the CEO and every board member of all of the banks.
Oh, hello. I like money.
Look, it's a bank. The definition of bank is it does something with money.
Money, me boy.
It holds money, it saves money, it makes money. Banks want your money. It's how they make their money. End of story. And if they don't give out the tools in which they make money, they are shooting themselves in the foot. They will find a way to get those cards into other consumers' hands. And the other thing is, it's July 2025. Can we come back to this in 6 months and in 12 months? Can we just make a note, RJ, to come back to this? Let's start looking at the interest rates on credit cards 12 months from now, July 2026, where 20 to 28.99% is normal. I would not be surprised. That's what I'm saying. We're coming back to this, mark this moment, put it in the time machine. Let's copy this specific section of this video, upload it, and schedule it 12 months from now. So it just automatically releases to the public 12 months from now. And we all go look at what the interest rate on credit cards is. I would not be surprised if it's 35%.
I have one question to that. Is Jerome Powell still the Fed chair in
Does
12
not
months?
matter.
It might.
Unless the high yield savings accounts finally go back above 4.2 something percent. I don't care.
Strange days indeed. Basic macroeconomics are broken. Anyway, pop-up jail. Yeah, pop-up jail is definitely sticking around. I could definitely see every issuer adopting pop-up jail. City. Oh, you want the City Strata card? Cool. Do you want that with a welcome offer? No? Cool. I don't know why you do that, but that's your choice. Oh, you want the City and Capital One, I could see instituting family language for select families of cards. Capital One may not let you get like a Venture One welcome offer if you already got the Venture X welcome offer, which sort of makes a certain amount of sense. Why you go after the Venture One after the Venture X, I don't know, but you do you. If you wanted to go grab the Venture offer after having the Venture X, they may nix that. That would make a certain amount of sense. So City, Capital One, I could definitely see doing family language, and City is building the Strata family. You may get like a once per lifetime Strata welcome offer. I don't know, but like Strata's not completely out there yet. We have Strata launching this week. We have Strata Premier already out there. Strata Select is still floating around as a trademark. Could be a thing, may not be a thing. Who knows? And you've got Strata Elite, which is vaporware, but is supposedly coming. So, like City and Capital One, I could see an argument for family language. Pop-up jail, everybody would benefit from pop-up jail. Like Wells, oh, you'll take a card without a welcome offer? Here you go. You want the City Strata without a welcome offer? Here you go. You want the Venture One without a welcome offer? Take the Venture One for good credit because you want the card. There you go. Don't take that card without a welcome offer. It's only 20,000 miles. No fee. It's not worth it. But family language and pop-up jail can definitely be utilized across the board. Pop-up jail, most certainly, each issuer could easily make a case for it. Family language, it's a little bit different, as RJ said. Like, you have to define what the family is because it doesn't make sense to have the lineup of cards that say Wells Fargo has and be like, oh, you got the autograph welcome offer, you can't get the Attune welcome offer, and you can't get the Active Cash welcome offer. Why? That's stupid. They're not the same family of cards. It's different card across the board. We just said so. What? That would be dumb. Yeah, I don't see that happening, but I do see pop-up jail being a possibility for Wells Fargo going forward and every other bank. Thanks, Double. We're going to go back to Keith now for another question he asks, Does top tier hotel status and its benefits dilute or negate some use cases of the bank's hotel programs and maybe even their premium high annual fee travel cards? You can buy top tier IHG, Hilton, and Marriott statuses, not titanium, but you can buy Marriott Platinum. They include some similar benefits that you can use year round at more places. Hilton is now selling early check-in and late checkout for stays. I'm thinking about focusing more on co-branded cards going forward and cutting back on my high annual fee cards. Does it dilute or negate some of the use cases of the bank? I don't think it. I think it's two separate sets. If you are loyal to IHG or you're loyal to Hilton or you want to be loyal to Marriott or Hyatt or whoever, and you have the opportunity to buy the status that works for you in order to unlock whatever benefits you want to unlock, buy the status. Get the card that buys the status. If you want to be, if you want a travel portal that will treat you like a king or queen for a day, or 2 days, use the high annual fee travel card or now lifestyle card, be it from American Express, Capital One, or Chase, or use the high end booking platforms for the hotel of your choice because they're all going to give you the same sort of benefits as well. That's Bonvoy Stars, Hyatt Privé, Hilton Impresario, no, Hilton Virtuoso. You can go to classictravel.com. You can book those rooms at the same prices, at virtually the same prices, get the same benefits, early check-in, late checkout, $100 property credit, food and beverage credits, whatever. You can access the same things that FHR gives you, that the edit gives you, but it's a choice to do that. Whereas if you want to invest your time, invest your dollars, invest your energy, invest whatever you are investing into IHG, Hilton, Marriott, whatever, buy the status that's going to fit you best. That's going to be Marriott Platinum, Hilton Diamond, or IHG Platinum. You can also buy IHG Ambassador, which includes Platinum. It is what it is. And you can only buy Hyatt Discoverist because Hyatt wants you to work and pay them for Globalist, which is their choice. But if you want to go the co-branded route, you can go the co-branded route. You're only gonna save in terms of it's one card instead of holding two or three. But one high annual fee card versus three high annual fee cards, yeah, it maps out eventually. RJ, your thoughts here?
I think this has always been a problem and this has always been the dynamic, but the card annual fees have just gotten higher. I think when the card annual fees are down $200 from where they are or $300 from where they are, you don't think about it as much, right? If cards are $350 as an annual fee, you think about that naturally a little less than you do at $795. So I think some of this has just been we haven't thought as much because the math is a lot easier. Now that the math is getting harder, I think co-brands A make more sense for people. I think that people are less in the mindset of, oh, I can't have a Hilton card because 5 Hilton points per dollar. I could do this jujitsu and like actually do this other way and get more. Just use the Hilton business and move on with your day. Like people are becoming more willing to try that or get hotel points or airline miles as their currency when they're using their cards. So I think there's that. I also think like co-brands are looked down on, not just for the points they give you, but just in general of like when we were talking about getting your first premium card, like you, and this is not a knock on Matt, but like his first thought was Platinum CSR Venture X, right? And then I brought in the Aspire and all of those other cards because those are just as premium in a lot of cases. Honestly, a lot of times they have their own travel category, which the higher end cards don't necessarily have in the same way. Like you can get 7x on the Aspire for travel. You're not getting it at other hotels, but for airlines and rental cars and transit and things like that, where you're not going to get that, you're not getting 7x on anything else, right? And however you value Hilton points, that's not a bad return. So I think that co-brands are having more of a renaissance. It will be interesting if that renaissance continues, how those cards are changed, because they are mostly how they are because not as many people get the top end version. A lot have the Hilton Honors or the Surpass. Not everybody has an Aspire. So as people go more to the highest end to get away from the sort of traditional three, it'll be interesting to see how they change. But I think focusing on co-brands is a good strategy for a good number of people, especially if you know your partners. I am Hilton and IHG and Delta are locks for me at this point. Like I am strapped into the cockpit, like ready for takeoff. Like I am not testing the waters on new partners, right? So for me, having those three cards, four if you count both Delta reserves, having those cards is a no-brainer. But if you're not sure on your partners, then yeah, a platinum or a CSR might make more sense. So it's also going to depend on where you are in your pick your partner's journey.
No, absolutely. Lonnie, your thoughts here?
I don't necessarily want to call it buying status, but more of a pay to play.
Sure.
Now, does the top tier hotel status benefits dilute or negate some of the use cases of the banks? I personally don't think so as well. So I'm going to say no there because the way that I see it is not that it's I say get this pay to play and get your top tier status. It's a shortcut for the price of an ecosystem, if you will. And so when you get like a Hilton or a Marriott Brilliant, like, yes, Amex provides both of those cards. IHG has one of them, or Chase has the other in this question that is. They never intended for you to have all of them. Once again, it ain't made for us, this community, this group of people. It's for those that can find leverage in paying to play and getting that particular status. For example, I mentioned I got the IHG card because I worked for a company where they put us in intercontinentals every time we were out of the country. And I wanted to benefit from that. And so for the low cost of the annual fee of $99 a year, I got to benefit from that. Now, you can switch that brand with anything. I can switch it with Hilton. I can switch it with Marriott. I can switch it with Radisson Blue. I could switch it with Choice, whatever that is. And the answer is still the same. It's for the cost of the ecosystem, but take the business out of it. Take us as savvy and discerning credit card users out of it. Let's just go with the average American person where if I were to pay $550 or $650 for a credit card that gave me top tier status, you best be believing I'm going to probably prioritize that hotel chain. And I think that's why the banks necessarily do it. And so, yeah, if you're going to get the Marriott Brilliant card, you're going to stay at Marriott. Once again, not including us, where we travel so much and we can stay so many places and we know all these tips, tricks, hacks, back doors to get around all of that. No, that's not for us. And no, I don't think it dilutes. It doesn't negate anything from the banks because you have to look at it from a lens of we are not the majority. We are the drop in the bucket of people that are gaming the system in a positive way for ourselves versus the people that don't. The majority is the people that don't have the education that we have or the experiences that we share across our community, in which we know that, oh yeah, pay $550. I guarantee you're going to get more value than that. How we define value, you know how I feel about that. You're going to get more value than that back. Pay $650. You're going to get more value than that back. I've disclosed I pay over $3,000 a year across all of my credit cards, just mine, not even my wife's, just mine. I pay over $3,000 a year. And you best believe I get more than $3,000 in value back. Almost, I'm not going to say every single trip, but you add them all up, I get way more than $3,000 in value back every single year. And that's what it's actually about. So I also understand going to a more co-branded card focus, especially in this Chase Amex battle of ecosystem world, because I talked about it. I'm thinking about doing it too. That could be my option. Go back to how it all started for me and get my United card and keep my hotel cards and screw these transferable point cards and with their high annual fees. I feel you, Keith. I might be there. I might be right behind you in line asking, can I borrow your pen so I can sign the cancellation form? I might be right there. I don't know if I'm going to be there. We'll see that out at the end of the year. But either way, the thing is that you can make a strategy that works. You can still figure out something that works. The same way with, if you're going to go co-branded, do you have to get the highest annual fee card? No. Like, you can get Marriott Gold and Hilton Gold status literally 6 different ways. And it costs you barely anything outside of maybe some spend with another company or another brand or something like that. If that. But I will say it like this. It's not necessarily a bad thing. And it's definitely not one of those situations where, because everybody has Hilton Diamond status, nobody has it, because there's not a lot of people out there signing up for a Hilton Aspire card, as much as people staying at Hilton, that is, globally, not just in the US. So you're okay there. But of course, do the best decision that's for you. If cutting back is the best decision, but I won't necessarily say because it's a high annual fee card, because you're doing the pay to play, it's diluting or negating anything from the bank or the hotel programs. It's just a tool or a resource to enhance your travel. For example, just using that as I finish up here, the Marriott Brilliant card, or even like an IHG, I'm not staying 40 nights. I'm just not. No. I can't tell you I stay 40 nights in a hotel all year. Maybe, because I do take a lot of personal trips that last about a week. So maybe I can get 40 nights, but 40 nights in a single brand, that's definitely not happening for me. And so for me, it is a tool. It is a resource that I see how I define my value. That is, it is a tool. It is a resource in which enhances my particular travel, and screw the banks. The banks get my money on the annual fee anyway. And every time I swipe my card. So I honestly, screw them. I'm going to milk them for every penny I can get.
Yep. I will say though, just remember, whatever hotel you're in, if everyone's that top status, no one's that top status.
And if you don't give a damn about being upgraded because you bought the room you wanted anyway, you don't have to worry about it.
Very true. Always get the room that you want.
Yep.
Hilton Free Night Awards aren't as all they're cracked up to be, because they're only standard rooms. So it's great for a weekend trip or something like that. Or y'all are just solo dolo.
Building your trip around expecting a major...
Building your relationship. If it's just 2 of y'all, the second you get a kid and you need a second room, first you need a pull-out couch. First, you need a crib. You need space for the roll-away bed crib.
Yep.
Then you need a king bed because they co-sleep sometimes and they're in a strange place.
Yep.
Then you need the pull-out couch.
Yep.
Then you need the double room.
Yep.
Now you need the room with the room in it with the pull-out couch. So, as you can tell, about that third tier, that free night certificate is almost worthless unless we're doing like a weekend trip. I'm speaking for a friend, of course.
I appreciate my desire not to have children just being reinforced every week on this podcast. I love being an aunt, but dear God, if I had to travel with children, I'd be in an insane asylum. I'd have Harley Quinn as my psychiatrist.
And
Don't do that.
I'm only bringing it up because I know tangent. I'm classic for tangents. RJ's going to get me, and behind the members only paywall, probably. But because I'm looking into another trip and I'm booking it, and like I said, if it's one night, say we're going on a cruise, the night before a cruise, whatever, use the get a studio room. We're only going to be there a couple of hours, and then we're all out in the morning. But for longer trips, I'm not going to risk not getting the upgrade. It's not worth the risk to just say I'm going to book this room and assume I'm entitled to an upgrade, because when it doesn't happen, you're going to feel really salty. Yeah, just get the room that you want, but are you going to I wouldn't recommend, if you need multiple, unless you need multiple rooms, but if you're going to put your whole family in one room, the free night certificates don't really do much for you, because all the rooms that you would need would be premium anyway, and those don't count towards it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
I'm
me a
not saying
standard
they're
room.
bad. I'm just saying make sure you know what you want and can this get you what you want.
Yes. Yep. Free night certificates, not all they're cracked up to be. Anyway, thanks, Keith, on that one. Our last question comes from Kirby G. And Kirby asks, if you could make a channel not about credit cards, what would you talk about? And he put in parentheses, other than Star Trek as well. RJ and I will be launching a Star Trek podcast relatively soon. That is why he gave us the caveat. Lonnie, I have a feeling what another channel for you would be about.
I would love to know what you think it would be about.
First and foremost, I'm going to go with tech. I think you would want to go down the you're not going to copy Mr. Who's the Boss or Marquez, but you'd certainly take a certain level of inspiration, and it's a field real well and have a passion for.
It would not be a tech channel, but you're not incorrect. Those are my two favorite tech creators, but I wouldn't do a tech channel only because there's too many tech channels out there.
That is fair. That is absolutely fair.
And I wouldn't, there's, no matter what channel you pick, there's too many of those particular channels out there. But
also true.
I've mentioned this before. I used to be in the music industry. One of the reasons why I got out is when the music industry changed, and there was no way I was ever going to be Pharrell Williams or Timbaland. And so I'm like, in your scenarios, I would never be Marquez Brownlee. He has too much of a head start.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to watch a black person in tech, he's got it. He owns, I'm not going to say he has a monopoly.
And Ultimate Frisbee. Man is, I'm going to be one of the best tech YouTubers in the world. Also, I'm going to play Ultimate Frisbee for my country and win things.
And that's why I wouldn't particularly do tech. But Matt, you're not wrong. I have a passion for it. I do like it. If you want to talk tech, I'm happy to talk it. I'm just not going to do it on the YouTube channel. I don't feel like that would be a successful YouTube venture for me.
That's fair.
I'm actually considering, not even considering, I'm actually in the process of seeing how I want to like fully build this new channel, but it's actually going to be around Lego.
Okay.
So my wife has seen my enjoyment in being a YouTube creator. She wants a piece of the action. And so we had to find common ground in which we both are passionate about and would not get tired of. And Lego, why not?
If Danish plastic cubes of death.
And if not, I would do probably some type of gaming channel. I'm not even into video games. I just respect the gaming industry that much. Take everything you said about tech, minus the fact I have a lot of tech. I don't really play a lot of video games at all. Maybe one or two. Like my next game is probably going to be Grand Theft Auto 6, and it didn't even come out till next year. That's how often I play video games.
Maybe.
If that. But just to talk about the business around the gaming industry, because right now the gaming industry is really popping off and is really interesting, especially the effects that it has on the entire entertainment industry as a whole.
You don't own your games. That whole thing is a thing. Support for games after end of life. The gaming industry is crazy right now, to put it lightly.
If you've never been to a gaming conference, they are by far, once again, I don't work in the gaming industry. I never have. I've only done side projects with gaming companies in my current professional capacity in business development and partnerships development. I've gone to a couple of gaming conferences around the globe. They are by far, it's like a gay party. And there's nothing wrong with gay people, by the way, but they know how to party, is what I'm saying. And the gaming conferences are by far the funnest, most off the wall conferences I've ever been to.
E3's heyday is definitely something we're just going to keep falling down the rabbit holes, aren't we?
Yeah, I went to the last two E3s, and that's when I walked into the showroom floor of one hall, that is, I saw what $1 billion looks like. The way they built those particular booths, I saw what $1 billion looked like, and I've been hooked. You know what? I would actually quit my profession and switch to the gaming industry. Straight up.
You can be like Chris Roberts and just never actually deliver anything.
Getting paid though.
So much freaking money. So much freaking money. Cloud Imperium Games. I miss Wing Commander so much. Anyway, RJ, if you weren't doing a Star Trek channel and you weren't doing a YouTube channel, and you weren't doing a credit card channel, what sort of YouTube channel would you do?
I nearly talked you into a West Wing podcast channel.
Yeah.
We almost did that, and then we decided we would just scream for an hour a week, and that wasn't healthy for either of our voices or mental state whatsoever. It would probably be another show, West Wing, or even something like Golden Girls or something. They're doing a Golden Girls rewatch podcast right now that has been delightful to listen to while I work. So something like that. I am a big old nerd when it comes to like movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I love rewatching media because you watch a show and then you take X back from it and then you rewatch it and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that this little thing that we saw for like half a second here matter. Like all of those little things. And I enjoy that. Marvel movies are super, like going back and watching the original Marvel movies, like the ones that came out, the first Captain America movie and stuff, you go, oh, like they really did have some long plays in these movies. So I would probably do something around that. I love EDC. I love talking about stuff, but just getting gear constantly is so difficult if you are not somebody on the list that companies are like sending you new Leathermans and sending you bags and things like that, that it would be just cost prohibitive to do that. But as far as like content and media, probably like movies and TV. I am a fan of that, which is why Matt and I are doing Star Trek, which should be super fun with Lower Decks.
Yes. And if we get to the end of Lower Decks and we're like, hey, let's keep going, we'll see where we go.
We have 100 episodes of Lower Decks, so we have a little bit of time to figure out what the next series is. Because we did Bridge Banter as the name, so like, how many shows have a bridge of some sort? We're set for light years, Matt.
Light years is a distance, not a time, but yes.
I understand, that was the joke.
Hey,
fair.
You leave my parsecs alone, okay?
It's another distance. The dang quip about the ship does not make sense. Anyway, if I didn't do a credit card channel and I didn't do a Star Trek channel, I would likely try to do a politics channel. Don't know how I would approach it. Oh, sorry. I would also lose about half my audience that I currently have, I'm sure. I keep my politics very well. My politics slip through from time to time. If you pay attention. And so I would probably go whole hog into that. I don't know how it would affect my credit card channel, but there are people who would not be a fan of my political takes, and that's fine. But yeah, I've thought about it. I've nearly pulled the trigger. I am still very just angry, and I don't want to record and just yell for 30 minutes. at a time. Lonnie's got that look of don't do it.
I adore you but you are not nearly as subtle as you think you are.
Oh no, I'm aware.
Okay,
I'm just glad I haven't lost
just-
audience.
Just want to be clear. You're not a subtle man.
No. I'm as subtle as a brick in the small of the back.
We got our episode title this week, guys.
I want to thank both of you for laughing because that was a great reference. All right. Thanks, Kirby, and thanks everyone who dropped questions. Check out stackingpoints.com for ways to drop us questions. All sorts of ways. Anyhow, RJ, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I think you should become a member, and the best way to do that is to go to stackyourpoints.com and click on the membership tab, and it'll take you everywhere you need to go and lay out our membership tiers.
Thank you for doing that segue so I don't have to. Lonnie, any final thoughts from you?
Do I have any final thoughts tonight? Get ready for everything to change in 2026. I'm just going to sum up our episode tonight with that one line.
Winter is coming.
Oh, it's about to get cold out there. Now,
yup.
With that being said, if you have the option to downgrade to a $0 annual fee card, take that first before you cancel. Make sure you unfreeze your credit reports before you hit the apply button, speaking for a friend, and get ready for what's ever coming.
And if you want a Freedom Flex, Matt killed the program. Because I am somebody who called Chase today to try to get the Freedom Flex from a product change. No, like you cannot. They offered me the CSR if I added money to my credit limit because I moved it all to the HG card, the CSP, the Freedom with Ultimate Rewards, and the Freedom Unlimited. No Freedom Flex.
I'm just so happy. The refresh is coming, guys.
The refresh, it'll be there.
The refresh is coming.
I have the Freedom card, but it's nowhere yet because the Freedom card, they don't want to update the system, so they don't care. So it's just like me waiting for the artwork to change in my digital wallet and on chase.com.
If it's anything like I've seen, some of these options will be pretty fun. But the refresh is coming. The refresh. Sorry. No around tonight. Anyway, we like to do a new segment where we highlight our new members and our diamond members. Our diamond members for the Stack Your Points podcast are AP, Double Animal Fries, Keith, Mitch 528, and Rupert Pond. I'm not sure if it's Rupert, whichever. Our new gold members, brand new gold members. We've got Bianca, NBP, Rygress Hunter, Tim Thompson, and our new silver members include Anthony F., The Jordan Rules of Credit, Michael Pythium, Pyro777, and Tampa Travel. So thank you to all of our new members. Thank you to our diamond members. If you want to become a member, again, stackyourpoints.com. You can join the memberships through YouTube and then join the Stack Your Points Discord to have your membership reflected in our Discord as well. It's a nice, easy process now. You just click one button that shows what your actual membership is, and it carries over into the Discord. Yes. So
also, if your name did not get called, I run the report that I get the names off of for the different levels, usually Sunday night. Sometimes it'll take YouTube a day or two once you become a member to show it on the report I'm doing. So I promise I'm not leaving you off intentionally. Sometimes there's just a delay.
There'll be a little bit of a lag, but if you weren't caught this week, you'll be caught next week. So we want to thank you all for watching and bearing with us for 45 minutes of build, but we needed to talk about it. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week.